Hi, my name is Jared Fitzpatrick. I'm a Black man. I've been Black for almost 30 years, and I would define racism as treating people differently based solely on the color of their skin. And I would just want to make sure that people understand that while race is not real, it's a social construct designed to separate us so that some humans can subjugate other humans. Racism is very real. What's stirring most for me is this movement from being angry and feeling disenfranchised or feeling like I needed to separate myself to really moving towards action and feeling like I want to be with people. I want to be around people who are not like me to help change mindsets and heart sets.
How is your anger presenting itself?
So my anger was presenting itself by me not talking to people who didn't look like me. I didn't want to lash out. So rather than that, I just cut people off. And there were a lot of people who were white, other races, who were reaching out and saying, how can I help? How can I be an ally? And I just didn't want to deal with them. I really wanted them to figure it out on their own. And I wasn't sad. I wasn't depressed. I was just angry. I just wanted to not be around them. And then I remembered this quote, and I don't know who says it, but it's really easy to hate from far away. And that was the key thing I had to keep repeating to myself. If I keep people at a distance, there is going to be this anger that continues to fill this rift between us. And eventually I'm going to start hating. And I don't want to hate. I know that that's the opposite of what we want. We want to love. So I had to get closer to people. I had to let them in, and I had to have a lot of conversations about here's what I would need from you as an ally. And it's not what I wanted to do, trust me. But I have to do those things. I was fresh out of college. I had just gotten my first job, and I won't say the name of the company, but the second day on my job, I came into work and I had this light blue button down long sleeve shirt on with a tie. And as I walked in, the COO of the company, it's a smaller company, COO of the company asked me to come into his office. And so I came into the office, Hispanic man, older man, and I'm sitting down across from this big wooden desk, and he's behind the desk, and he says, "We don't wear shirts that color here." And I was like, did I violate the dress code? I didn't read this in the handbook. What happened? And he says, we don't wear that color because we only wear white shirts. And I was like, well, nobody told me that. And he said, the reason we only wear white shirts is because white is the color of business. And we don't wear any other color shirts because that's not the color of business. And so I don't think he meant to do this, but essentially what he was telling me was white is right and everything else is not.
You
Yeah.
posted a Pixar short film on LinkedIn that
Yeah.
basically goes to that. I forget what
Yeah.
the name of it was, but my mom,
Pearl.
Pearl.
Man, go watch that.
My mom talks about Pearl all the time. She's like, Pearl?
Yeah.
I sent it to my mom. When you talked about microaggressions, when I told my little brother when I was going to do this, he said you need to speak on that because he says those are the ones you experience the most. It's not the outright blatant. He said it's all the little microaggressions that you just shrug off, shrug off. It's not easy, but you shrug it off and you just keep going with your day and like nothing happens. And so like you really need to talk about that because those are the ones that adds up. And like you said, it takes away from you as a person.
Act justly, love mercy, walk humbly with your God, and love God and your neighbor as yourself. What these personally mean to me is that everyone who I encounter on a daily basis, I have to embody these values and relate them to that person or those people, because everyone is my neighbor. We're all created in God's image, regardless of race or background. So that means if I call myself a Christian, a believer in Christ, and I'm going out and telling people about the good news, then that means I also have to love them and extend grace and kindness and mercy. And even if they don't extend that back to me, I have to be able to still love them and treat them with the same love that I would hope that God would treat them with.